Hello, beautiful and amazing people. My name is Amita Mitra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am speaking right from Uganda, Kampala, East Africa. For those of you watching me for the very first time, you're most welcome. Kindly be a part of this very beautiful, humble and amazing family by subscribing to this channel, and also make it a point to like this video. Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing great and I hope God is protecting all of you. Today is a continuation of what I spoke about yesterday. So for those of you who haven't watched the first episode of this, kindly go to my previous video and watch it before you come to this one, because trust me, you're going to be very, very lost in this one. I don't want this video to be very, very long because the previous one was very long, and this is the last episode. I'm not going to talk about this after this. After this video, I'll not talk about this battle again, and that will be it. Now, for those of you who are wondering why I am sharing this story with all of you guys, first of all, it's because I know so many people out there could be in the same position like I was a few months ago, okay, probably a year ago. You could be in the same situation, and you're probably looking for somebody to talk to you about it, and maybe you're scared to share it with so many people around you. I want you to know that you're not in this alone. I have been through it, and just for you to know that you are going to be fine. And then there's so many people who could be going through it or who are about to go through it. Also want you to know that there are so many ways you can avoid this from happening to you. And then lastly, I want to talk to you people because I want you people to relate. So many times people watch people on TV, on YouTube, on podcasts, on all these other social media platforms and feel like they are not any different. They are so different from them. I want you people to know that we are all the same. As long as we are human beings, we go through the same challenges in life. The only difference is some people will talk about it and others will not talk about it. But these people that you watch on your screens, on televisions, or you listen to on radios, are also as human as you are. I mean, they also go through the same things. So the reason I'm doing this video is to relate with you guys. I want you to know that the things that you pass through, I pass through as well. Yeah, the things that you battle with, I battle with as well. It's not always that people will come out and talk about their battles in life, but just for you to know that you're not alone. We are in this together. Otherwise, without wasting more of your time, I want to go straight into the last episode of my battle with tuberculosis. So like I told you in the previous video, January, now all this period I was treating for pneumonia like you saw in the previous video. So January 2021, I become worse. This time around, so many symptoms, so many signs, so many things annoying me. My temperatures were now high from morning to morning. Yeah, my headache was too bad from morning. Like all the time I would feel headache. I would feel something piercing me in front here, and then somewhere here, these sides. I would feel something piercing me all the time. And then temperatures were rising all the time. Whether it was cold or hot, I was having a high temperature. Like my body was always hot, like all the time. Whether people are feeling hot, whether people are feeling cold, me, I was in that same situation. And then I noticed my skin was becoming pale. Like my skin was really becoming pale, and then I was becoming weaker and weaker all the time. And then I was getting tired all the like easily. Like I just walk for a smaller distance, like maybe moving from home to the nearest shop, and I'm already tired. I have to first sit somewhere and try to breathe in and out, feel better, then come back. I mean, it's a very short distance. I've always walked for longer distances, but this time around, the shorter distances were even giving me a lot of trouble. So I noticed something was sincerely not right with me. So I started vomiting. Like my vomiting, okay, I used to vomit initially, but now my vomiting became too much. I would vomit literally all the time, whether I have eaten or not. And then my appetite was very, very low, like too low. It was at 1%. I wasn't eating. I lost a lot of weight. Funny enough, I was losing weight, but my face was swelling. I remember there's a video I did during that time, and people came out here to say that Amito was gaining weight. Hey, you're gaining weight, you're looking nice, blah blah. You guys don't understand. I wasn't gaining any weight. I was actually losing a lot of weight and swelling. My face was swollen. My cheeks were so swollen. My eyes were swollen. My forehead was swollen. Like, you guys, everything on my face was swollen. But that was because of what I was passing through. It is until then that we noticed this was not something simple. Now, there is a day I was alone with my mom. I think everyone was away. I was with my mom at home. I remember that day I vomited for close to 30 minutes. I reached a time when I felt like everything in my stomach was out, but I was still vomiting. And I remember looking at my mom, and she was in this position of, what exactly is wrong with my daughter? Like, she was in a very big dilemma. She couldn't explain what was happening. She was really, really sad, but she didn't want to show it to me that she was sad, but I saw it in her eyes. She was confused, you know. I vomited. I was in the bathroom for like close to 30 minutes, vomiting nothing. I mean, I think time reached, and I think I was vomiting blood. Yeah, something reddish was coming out of me. I was like, okay, now what exactly am I suffering from? We've really treated for the past, I don't know how many months we are treating. What exactly is wrong with Amito? It was until then, that same night, I didn't sleep. Like, now, something I didn't tell you, my nightmare always began from around 11:30 to 5 a.m. That was a time I wasn't sleeping. That was a time I was battling with so much, fighting with, I felt like I was fighting with spirits. I mean, I felt like something was trying to take me to another world, and I was here fighting to stay in this world. So those times, my nights were so bad. I always prayed to God that it was morning, because it's at around 6, 7 that I felt relief, but my whole night I was battling with something I didn't understand. So eventually, 2 days after me struggling with that, meanwhile I'm still on the other pneumonia medication, my mom came to my bedroom, and I wasn't doing well. So she sat on my bed, and then she said, I have a doctor at Mulago Hospital that I know. You guys, when you are sick, when you're going through something very, very bad, you forget about every other person who would have helped you. I mean, at that time, you're not thinking at all. So my mom remembers that she has this one doctor who has been there for her so many times, like at some time before, and she's like, maybe I can call this doctor and he could advise. Yeah. So immediately at that moment, I think it was like around 9:30. It's not good to call people that late, but my mom took the risk. My mom calls this doctor, and this guy was so sweet to us. My mom put him on loud, and I listened to him. My mom explained everything I was passing through, and this doctor was like, oh my God, why did you take long? Why did you take long? Why haven't you been sending her to me? Blah, blah, blah. My mom was like, I was not even remembering at this point. All this time we weren't even thinking. We just wanted this girl to be fine. But it's now that I remembered that I had your contact and I had you in mind, so I decided to call you. So this doctor is like, no, bring her, let her come tomorrow to my office, blah, blah, blah. The following morning, meanwhile, that night I didn't sleep well. It was a very bad night for me. The following morning, I wake up, and on my way to Mulago Hospital, I meet this very amazing doctor, explain everything to him, and yeah, he was so helpful. He requested me, he wrote things, like, you guys, I didn't find any challenges, trust me. after all that I told him, I went through, he told me he's not in that department. Like, he is in a totally different department from what I was suffering from. But this guy was so much willing to help. So he wrote something down to me, and then he called his other colleague who works at the Lung Institute. Told him, I have a patient here, someone has sent them to me, kindly I want you to investigate and find out what she's suffering from, blah blah blah. She'll explain. So he writes something to me, gives it to me, and tells me to go to the Lung Institute, directs me to the doctor I'm supposed to see. So I went to the Lung Institute. I met this another amazing doctor. I explained everything to him. He also put things down in writing, blah blah blah. Then he explains to me, he tells me, okay, now we need to do this test, we need to do this test, we need to do this test. Bananga, you guys, we did so many tests. I think I did around 9 tests that day, because he looked through my documents and most of the tests were done. So he was like, now we need to do these 9 tests. These are the tests that will determine what exactly you are suffering from, because now the issue was with my lungs. From all the x-rays I was doing all the time, I think I had done like 4 or 5 x-rays. All the x-rays I had done were showing that there's something wrong with my lungs. There's a very wrong thing with my lungs. So this doctor writes the tests down. I go to do the tests. Some of these tests are not in Mulago, so I had to go to another laboratory out of Mulago and do these tests. And then I came back, gave this doctor my results. And when the doctor looked through them, he noticed that my problem was TB. Yeah, I had, no, like all the tests I did were clear, were fine. So the only test that they had not yet done was the TB test. So he says, out of all this is a rare case. I've not seen this. Normally, people say, like, whoever is going through the same thing you're going through is either suffering from this or this. But given the fact that these results are all negative, that only means that we have to test for TB. So this other doctor also calls another doctor and tells her about my condition and tells her, I'm going to send this girl to you. I think she needs your attention. Like, her problem is not in the Lung Institute. I think it's in the TB Institute. So he gives me everything he has written down and tells me to take all that to this other third doctor. So the following morning, because time had gone, the following morning, we go to this other third doctor and checked for TB, and the rest is history. I was found plus TB plus, you guys. I had too much TB, like too much. So when I was interfacing with this doctor, meanwhile this doctor was female, she was so good. Oh my god, this lady was so amazing. She was so good. I'm not going to mention their names because I'm not so sure how some people would feel like if I mention their names. So, but just for you to know, she was a female doctor. She was so helpful to me. She talked to me. She asked me so many questions just to come to the root cause of all this. Eventually, I have TB and my TB is plus. Meanwhile, I am not a smoker. I'm not a drunkard. So this doctor tells me, you are lucky because you don't smoke, because if you were a smoker, probably right now we would have buried you already. I mean, my TB was bad, you guys. It was very bad. Good news, I began my treatment, and guess what, guys? I had spent a lot of money for the past 4-5 months. October, November, December, January. I had spent a lot of money, yeah? A lot of money. I think the money we spent during that time would have constructed a very huge house for us. You guys, we spent a lot of money, a lot. Me and my mom spent a lot of money, and my mom spent the most, but you guys, life is precious. Life is really precious. If you have anyone you're treating, do everything possible to make sure that they get their life back. Life is really precious. All these other things are worldly. We need life. We need our close people around us. We need our family around us. That is the only way we can be happier. So yeah, they found out I had TB and they started treatment. Now the beauty about the tuberculosis ward in Mulago, these guys told me not to pay a coin, not even a penny, nothing. They told me, we are going to treat you until you're fine. Tugenda kukanika bulungi obere fine. That's what they told me. We're going to treat you so well. Don't worry about anything. We're not going to charge you not even a coin. I thought they were joking. You guys, from the day I entered Mulago Hospital tuberculosis ward to the last day I left, that was just a week ago, I didn't spend any coin. But of course, just like any human being, don't be so selfish. These doctors have treated you, they've looked after you, they've done everything to make sure you are alive, and you can't even tip them. But the tip is not a bad thing. It's not bad to tip anyone. If you have something, always tip these people. I mean, they are also struggling in life. They might not show it on their faces, but they are also struggling in life. So always tip these people, make them feel like, they are appreciated as well. Yes. So I didn't pay any single coin in Mulago. Nobody asked me for any money, but this medication, you have to pay for it. No. I went to Mulago every month. Sometimes I would go like 6 times in a month, All the tests were supposed to be done. My sputum was taken almost every month, actually every month. And then they kept checking me, checking my blood. You guys, they did just so much for me during that whole period. Meanwhile, my treatment, now the beauty about it is these guys cancel you into this treatment. They tell you this treatment is going to go for 6 months. You have to be very patient, because if you don't finish the 6 months, you're not going to be fine. So just for you guys to know that I started my treatment in January, and I completed my treatment last week on my birthday, 5th July 2021. And that is the reason as why I was so happy on that day. I mean, that day means so much to me. For the longest time, I've not been loving my birthday, because it is the same day I lost my dad. I lost my dad when I was making 20 years, some years ago. The same time, I think I lost my dad at around 11 something. So, I mean, every time it is 5th July, 11 something, I'm always thinking about my dad. I feel so down. I'm not always anxious to celebrate my birthday, because I feel like it's my dad I am thinking about all the time. But this time around, I was so eager to see the 5th of July 2021, because I knew that was the day I was going to stop my medication. I was going to, like, everything about me was going to change. I've been through a lot for the past 6 months. During the treatment, I got so many effects. I don't know whether, I think that's side effects, because the doctors kept telling me that happens for most people who are treating TB. My joints were so painful. Squatting was very hard. Bathing was so hard. You guys, I passed through a lot. My skin peeled off. I think I'm going to look for some pictures. If I have them, I'll be putting them somewhere here or somewhere here. My skin peeled off. You guys, I look like those, kids deep down in the village. Those who don't even have, who don't smear any Vaseline. Oh God, I looked like, I don't know. You guys will see. I'm just hoping that I didn't delete those pictures. I'll be putting them somewhere here. You guys, I was looking so terrible. I didn't even want. Now, so many people got mad because I went through this alone. Yes, there is no way I would let you guys know that I was going through this, because first of all, I was told to refrain from you people. Now, one thing you people have to know is that TB is an airborne disease. TB is an airborne disease. You can get TB through someone else. Then you can also get TB through too much smoking, when you damage your lungs. And then thirdly, I think TB also so much catches people with HIV because of their low immunity. So those are the 3 groups of people who normally have TB. Mine was airborne, and I can't really tell how I got it. Maybe at work or because I think it has to be around work, because me, all that period, it was from home to work and back, home, work, back. I rarely met people, and every time I met people I had my mask. Okay, all this time I had my mask on, so I don't know whether I got TB before corona, or I just can't tell, because nobody can tell when I got this TB. But you guys should know that TB is an airborne disease, so be so sure about the people you are among with. And then for those of you who have TB, kindly tell your friends. If you have TB and you've not treated it, you are at a risk of making your other people sick, your family sick, your friends sick. So try to get treatment. TB treatment is very, very cheap. It is actually extremely free of charge at Mulago Hospital. The only thing you have to put in is your transport, and then feeding yourself well, because there are some things that the doctors are going to tell you to eat and not to eat. You have to drink a lot. You have to drink a lot of juice. I'm talking about juice, locally made juice, homemade juice, not the ones you guys buy, Make your own juice. It is fresher and it is more healthier. So take a lot of juice, eat healthily. The doctors will advise you on how to eat, and finish your medication. The most painful bit about this whole medication is that you have to swallow so many drugs. Yes, with TB there is so much to swallow. Like, I was supposed to swallow some drugs very early in the morning. I don't know if you guys get it. You wake up every morning at around 6:37, and the first thing you have to do is swallow these drugs before you even brush your teeth, before you even bathe. And then you're not supposed to eat anything after swallowing that medicine until it is 1 or 2 hours after the medicine. That is when you can take your breakfast. So my whole schedule changed because of that medication. And then in the night too, at around 9, you have to swallow another group or set of medication. Man, there are times when I was swallowing like 12 tablets every day, because this whole sickness came with so many other side effects. The joints were painful, so the joints were supposed to be treated as well. So I had to get medication for the joints. Like I told you guys, I couldn't sit, I couldn't bathe well. Like, my joints were literally painful. I kept sleeping all the time. The only times I would move were the times when I was going for my hospital reviews. And because I was not working, I was just in bed all the time. And then the other thing is my skin peeled off. I'm going to look for those pictures. I don't know if I still have them, but if I get them, I'll put them somewhere here. So my skin completely peeled off. Currently, as I'm speaking, I have a different skin, a totally different skin. My whole body peeled off. I got a new skin, you guys. And when I talked to the doctors, they said that was a side effect of the medication I was getting, and then what I was also going through. My skin peeled off, and what else? So many things happened. The vomiting was too much still, all that period. Now, my first 2 months of treatment were so bad. January and February, I think between 25th and 28th of January, I felt like I was going to die. If I didn't die during that time, you guys, I am still alive. God still wants me here. God wants me to create content for you guys. Those were the times I saw my life going. I definitely knew I was going to die any of those days, but thank God, here I am, very, very alive and kicking and very, very healthy. So all glory to God. These doctors, now the beauty about it is, these doctors are not even paid, but they are always checking up on you, calling you. Have you taken medication? Have you drank a lot of juice today? Are you taking enough water? Are you eating well? I mean, all the time there is a doctor calling you, there is a nurse calling you, there is someone calling you from the hospital. So I really want to appreciate the tuberculosis ward, Mulago, inside the Cancer Institute. You guys were so amazing to me. I will forever tell this story to my children, grandchildren, and everyone I'll come in contact with for the rest of my life. You guys really saved my life, and I haven't met any wonderful team like you guys. You are part of my family. I actually know almost everyone at the TB ward. Like, I feel like they're family to me. They've really been there for me in this whole journey. It was a very amazing and beautiful journey with their help. If it weren't for the hard work, the love, I think these guys love what they do, because it is only somebody who loves what they do that they'll make you feel the way I felt. You guys, I felt so at home every time I was at the TB ward. So another thing I want you guys to know is you guys have to guard your health. Do away with all those things that might cause you trouble. During this period, I met so many people that became like family to me because we were all battling the same thing. Every time I went to the TB ward, I met a friend or two, and they always told me their stories. There is one who told me that he had been smoking for like the past 10 years, smoking shisha, smoking cigarettes, and all those hard things that you guys smoke, yeah. But he regrets doing all that. He wishes the time could be taken back for him not to do all those things he did, but it is what it is. He was supposed to get treatment. Unfortunately, days later when I went back for my other reviews, I was notified that he had passed on. So the few people that I had made friendship with at the TB ward, unfortunately they passed on with time. I don't know whether I was just making friends who were dying or something, but 3 of the people I had made friends with all passed on because they were at a point when TB was like the medication was not fighting this TB. Now, something I didn't tell you about was my TB was non-resistant. That also helped me a lot. It was too much in my body, but it was non-resistant. Non-resistance means it can be treated, like when you swallow drugs and get all that medication, you can get fine. Then there are these people who have TB that is resistant to drugs. And so even if you swallow thousands and thousands of drugs, your TB will not go away. Like, it is there to stay. So always pray to God that you don't get that kind of TB, because that one is bad. And that is the TB that these other friends of mine were having. It was resistant to drugs. So it has been a lesson for me. I was advised on, by the way, if you are a married person, please try not to catch TB, because when you get TB, from day 1 of your treatment to the 6th month, you're not supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to have sex, because I think when you do, you start from scratch. Like, you start from day 1 and then you count other 6 months. So those are the things that the counselors, the doctors are going to tell us at the hospital before we start our treatment. You're not supposed to have any sexual intercourse. And then you're literally supposed to drink well and a lot of juices, a lot of water. And then always try to take some warm tea. There is a way it cools me. I used to have a lot of pain. My throat was so painful. My coughing came with a lot of pain here, and I actually thought I had either goiter or tonsillitis, but it was just a side effect of, I think it was just a symptom of what I was going through. Yeah, so I had too much pain here. My chest was so painful. Me coughing was really, really hard for me. Sometimes I would just hold my chest so bad like this and cough. That was how bad it was. Me, I went through a lot of hard time, you guys. My first 2 months of treating TB were also not easy, given the fact that I had the best doctors, I had the best people to treat me. It wasn't a bed of roses for me. The first 2 months, that's January and February, were so bad. Now, remember, they do the tests almost every month, but I thank God that my second test was very, very negative. So all the tests I did after that turned out negative. So I really want to thank God, because I conquered, I managed, I won this battle, and here I am giving my testimony. Hopefully it will be of so much help to you guys. Now, another thing I want you to know, that when you start this medication, everything that comes out of your body is orangish. Is it like this nail? No, it is darker than this nail. That's dark orange. Huh? The vomit is always dark orange. The urine is always dark orange. The feces are always dark orange. Oh my God, you guys, it is a very hard situation to pass through. but I thank God I passed through it. You guys have to be very, very conscious. You have to be very safe, like try to avoid all these diseases. And if you don't know about your health, kindly go and find out. Go to the biggest hospitals and find out. I would prefer Malago. I know so many of you guys don't want to talk about Malago, but to me Malago has been my savior. So I think it's about the people that you work with. I just pray that you work with people who love their job and who are passionate about treating others. And I thank God I got into contact with such people who treated me with so much love, and their only prayer was that I was fine. So up to now they still call me and check on me, find out how I am doing. That can only be done by somebody who loves their job. So that was it about my journey. It's getting so long. Just comment down below if there is any question you want to ask me, and I will respond. Otherwise, thank you so much for giving me your ears. Glad sharing this journey with you, and I hope this journey helps, this story helps so many of you and helps you guys go and get tested to find out if you are going through what I went through as well. I so much appreciate your support. May God bless you. See you in my next video. Bye bye.